How's it going, you guys? So in this video, I just want to discuss this bias against fruits and vegetables that is commonly seen amongst the carnivore dieting crowd. So, you have people like Sferage or Sferrier, or however you say his name, who thinks that garlic is a neurotoxin. And I think that's foolish because garlic happens to be one of the most powerful antibiotic herbs on the planet. And if I had a choice between taking some raw garlic to knock out a cold or taking a pharmaceutical antibiotic, I'm definitely going to take garlic. So I think this idea that, and this is a big thing about plant foods, is that number one, there's a lot of tonic herbs such as holy basil or, ayahuasca, which is an extreme example, that people use to expand their consciousness. Now, personally, I don't advocate using hallucinogenic herbs and things, and I personally have never done those. But holy basil, ashwagandha, and these things can be extremely therapeutic for many people. And in fact, even for people who eat a healthy diet and have no health problems, things like ginseng and holy basil can take people's health to an even greater level. And so I think that plant foods are very powerful medicine. And I think if somebody is sick with like viral meningitis or, the flu, which me and my girlfriend have caught the flu, a couple times in the last couple years from her work, where people are out for weeks from work. People have to take like a whole month off from work because they're sick with the flu. And my girlfriend catches the flu from her coworker, but I give her some raw fucking garlic, and unbelievably, she's cured within 3 to 5 days. We verified with the physician that we've had the flu, and then I cured that shit with fucking garlic. So, and then people with acid deficiency in their stomach, or an over-alkaline stomach, which causes acid reflux, without remedying the issue using apple cider vinegar or something like that, these people are probably going to stay away from an all-meat diet, because without a sufficient stomach acid or the proper pH to regulate the sphincter that regulates the bile coming up through your esophagus, such as an acid reflux, these people are not going to be able to eat red meat, and therefore they're just going to assume that red meat causes acid reflux, and they're never going to, eat this food, which can be very beneficial for many people. The point, though, is that apple cider vinegar serves a very important purpose as medicine. And again, would you rather use plant medicine to help you eat a healthy diet, use plant medicine to cure issues when they come up, or stick to this dogma that all plant foods are always bad? Because you're limiting yourself to some very helpful tools that probably don't have any drawbacks, okay? The point is that there's a vast majority of plant foods that are extremely beneficial to humans, and it's most likely not necessary to consume plant foods for vitamins or for minerals, or for just to survive. Plant foods are not necessarily necessary as long as you are able to sustain your life through whatever dietary ideology you adhere to. People who have been living on red, people have lived for over 50 years on an all-meat diet. Think about Owsley the Bear Stanley, who lived into his set to be 76, died of a car accident, and he lived for over 50 years on an all-meat diet. Then you have Joe Anderson, etc., etc. You have the Eskimos and Inuit and blah blah blah, which there's a lot of holes to poke in that. But the point is, people can live for a long time with no fucking plants. So you don't need plant foods, it seems, right, to survive. However, that doesn't mean that plant foods are bad for humans, because you also have the Okinawans, you have the people of Crete, you have the French, you have all these blue zones who live long lives. You even have the Seventh-day Adventists who eat a largely plant-based diet, which, by the way, I do not advocate. And the quality of their life might not be as great without meat, by the way. And not to mention, plant foods tend to cause a lot of problems for many people who can't handle them for whatever reason. But the point is that there's, large amounts of evidence that people can live into their hundreds eating a diet that includes a large amount of plant foods. So, you know, most of these people eat a large amount of animal fat, such as the Okinawans, who actually ate a lot of their calories from pork fat, from lard. And then the people of France, who eat a lot of butter traditionally, and cheeses and things. And then the people of Crete, who ate a lot of olive oil, which is a plant fat, but still high fat. And so what I'm getting at here, though, is that, you know, people live into their hundreds, lots of centenarians, lots of long-living cultures eat a large amount of plant foods, and they don't fucking die early because of it. So these people who say, oh, fucking tomatoes cause heart attacks, like that's the carnivore dogma. Those are the types of people that are going, you know, like vegan dogma, but in a carnivore fashion, okay? And like, I'm kind of in that keto state now, you know what I mean? Like, because that's what I've been doing. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like these people are not full of crap. Just because like they're supposed to be my allies, you know, in this pro meat, you know, stance, that, you know, this pro meat, you know, team meat. We're team meat, right? I don't care. I can't help it. Like, the fact of the matter is, like, saying that, oh, like, tomatoes are actually what causes heart disease, and, you know, plant foods are going to kill you. Like, I think that's fucking foolish. Absolutely. And there's a large amount of centenarian cultures who survive on higher carbohydrate diets, okay? But I think high fat, high protein is the way to go. And I think, you know, cycling in and out of different macronutrient ratios is probably healthy as well, through hormesis and also metabolic flexibility, which Robb Wolf talks a lot about. I think that a lot of people's metabolism are completely wrecked. You know, people lose their ability to metabolize carbohydrates in an effective fashion. And, you know, human beings have survived for as long as we have because we've been able to survive for thousands and thousands of years on mainly meat, also thousands of years on lots of plant foods. We have great metabolic flexibility. There's human beings that survive, although barely, on processed sugar and grains, but of course they develop diseases. And so the point is, though, like, we're able to utilize a large variety of fuel. And I do believe some fuels are better than others. And I myself eat you know, right now I'm eating mainly just red meat and butter. But, you know, I've been doing, you know, 10 cups of vegetables a day and all these different diets. I was vegan for an entire year, which was horrible. And I do believe that, you know, the more I base my diet on animal products, the better I feel. My point here, though, is that plant foods are powerful medicine. Plant foods, if you know, like teas, herbal teas, tonic herbs, tinctures, you know, and which, by the way, medicinally, cultures have been using plant foods in teas and these other concoctions, and they prepare them a certain way to remove the fiber and other things. So maybe there's a certain way to prepare these things so that we can provide max benefit. Plant foods can be an amazing tool for some people if used properly. Okay, do I think that, you know, green tea is going to fucking kill you because it inhibits iron absorption? I don't think so. Some people say, oh, like, here's some counter information. Green tea might, like, be significantly harmful. It might be harmful, but to an insignificant degree. But it depends. If you don't fucking if you drink green tea and you feel like crap, don't do it. If you eat broccoli and you hate the bloating that it causes, don't do it. But also understand that just because it doesn't work for you doesn't mean that it doesn't work for other people. And remember, there's a lot of evidence that people live well into their 90s and 100s eating a lot of plants and also a lot of animal foods. So again, it's this dogma, it's this black and white thinking, and I don't have enough evidence yet to say, like, oh yeah, fucking plant foods are gonna fucking kill you, blah blah blah, they are the cause of disease. No, I think overabundance of carbohydrates mixed with metabolic inflexibility, and I think just the condition of the person is more important. But I also think there's a lot of foods that can kill you. Anyway, let me know what you all think down below. Subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.